All right, so we just finished up our 6th week. We're getting ready for our 7th game this Friday, but so we lost this past week, which makes us 0-3 in the last 3 weeks, and we were 3-0 in the first 3 weeks. So 3-3 overall. Something that came up this week, the thing that's mainly my biggest takeaway for myself, especially as calling it on the offensive side, is falling for. What you see on film. Watching the other team, they primarily a 4-1 is what you saw versus spread with cover two man, but regardless, it was almost a 5-man box a lot. And you try to leak an outside backer into the box, but anyways, so you see that, and we're not, right now we're not a true spread team. We're not in a ton of 2x2, 3x1 spread. We're doing a lot of different things, but as you see that on film, you're like, oh man, we can get into a 4x1 or sorry, a 2x2 and get them into a 4-1 box, and we can run the football and we can be successful. We feel like, and then we know how they're going to structurally align to a 2x2, so we're going to design passes to compete with that. So that's the game plan we went with. Over probably, I haven't looked at the numbers, but 60 to 70% of our, probably at least 70% of our play calls were in 2x2, and that is not at all what we've done. And it was one of the worst games in terms of execution that we have played on offense this year, versus running all this other stuff. Unbalancing the line to a 4x0 offensive line, to move an offensive lineman out, to being taking the same personnel and being a tight end wing to an empty to whatever. And now here we are in 2x2, over 70% of our play calls, thinking that we could design plays versus what they do. And to me, that ended up being a mistake on my part of focusing too much on them and not enough on us. And we actually, by simplifying things, and we executed worse. And I believe that goes back to this thought of anticipation versus execution. The more they anticipate what we're going to do, and they're not really, their mind is locked in, and they can just focus on their execution. Well, then yeah, your execution is going to suffer some on the opposite side because they are executing well. And so what I negated to take advantage of was, again, you're not really playing the coordinator necessarily. You are, but you're facing the players, and depending on what level you're at, what age group you're playing, those are the people that have to apply a coordinator's rules and a coordinator's game plan to what they see on the field. And if we just give them simple formations to line up to, it's really easy for them to line up to. So it goes back to something that I've spent a lot of time thinking about, but just decided not to follow last week, and that was so many offensive coordinators are negating to take advantage of what happens before the snap. There's so many no huddle slow teams. To me, that is the worst tempo you can go with, is to be no huddle and to not go fast, because then you're just saying, hey, here's how we're going to line up. Defense, take your time, see what we're going to do, and now you can get lined up, and you're completely missing an opportunity to create an imbalance between execution and anticipation. The opponents can just get lined up and apply what the defensive coordinator, that game plan from the coaching staff, the players on the field can then apply it to what they see, versus messing with that for even a few seconds. So it takes them, they have less time to apply the rules and the game plan that they've been taught all week. So it's either going fast so that they have to, you're going no huddle fast and they've got to line up to it quickly and they don't have a lot of time to think, or it's lining up in something and motioning or shifting to something else, or it's huddling up. And my preference, if you are going to huddle, it's to burst the huddle and to line up quickly and snap the ball quickly. I think anything where you're just saying, here we are, this is how we line up, I think that's a missed opportunity to put your people in the best position to be successful. And that, as coaches, that's our task. At the minimum, we're to put our people in the best position to be successful. Obviously in the game, but hopefully in the big picture of life itself. We're using this as just a journey to prepare them for their next journey. Even though this is, as a coach, this is really our journey. But anyways, just that was a very obvious thing that I that revisited this week and learned from, and know that that's just not how I believe is the best way to put our people in the best position. Focusing so much on the opponent and dictating what you do based off of what they do, versus trusting who your people are, what the potential they've been blessed with, and then doing the things that you believe give you, your team, the best chance at being successful.